Hi guys, welcome to today's video where we are going to discuss 3 lookup options that you have in Microsoft Excel. I know there are a lot of YouTube videos that's discussing how to use Vlookup. Well, in this video, we're going to give you 3 different options that you can use, and make sure you stay tuned to see every single one of them, because each one of them works in a different way and can work for a different purpose. So our first formula that we're going to use today is Xlookup. And I know Vlookup has been blowing up YouTube, but there are a bunch of options that you can use when you need to look up certain values. And each of these formulas that we're going to discuss throughout this video works in a different way. So it might work for different spreadsheets that you're working on. So to use Xlookup, you can see we've got this table here and there's a lot of data, and we want to isolate specific data in a specific column or a row, and whatever that might be. And when using Xlookup, let's say our search parameter is going to be cable size. So for instance, here we're going to search this cable size, and we want, let's go for impedance, and we can even do the 3-phase volt drop as well, just to repeat the method here. So in using Xlookup, you're going to type, just simple as that, Xlookup, and once you put in your brackets, it's going to ask you for your lookup value. So I put in this cable size here as our reference. So if I change this value, it immediately calculates or looks up the value that we need in our table. So you can do this the hard way. You can just simply put 1.5 there, but then you are limited to that specific value or that specific row. So doing this, it was H3, then our value can, if we change this value, it is immediately looks up a value in the rest of the table. So going to our next point here is our lookup array. So from here, you're going to just select all of your cable sizes. That's our search parameter that we are basing this on. So that you can do this with anything, but this is how we're going to explain this. You can fool around with Excel and figure this out on your own, but this is our search parameter that we're going to use. So we've got our lookup array, and our next one is our return array. So for this column, we specifically asked, we wanted to calculate or look up the impedance of each cable. So I'm just going to select our return array, and then you have the option, well, let's just leave it at that for now. And you can see there it looks up the impedance of the cable, and if I change this wherever it may be, it changes the lookup value, and it immediately looks up our impedance for any size of cable. So I'm just going to repeat this quickly. So that we can, I just want to show you something on this formula. So our return array, and then after the return array, there's an option if not found. So for instance here, I'm just going to fill in no data. And if I close the bracket, you'll see it immediately, oh sorry, I just need to move this over to there. So from here, you'll see all of our data that's been looked up on our table. And for instance, if I enter in an incorrect size or size cable that's not in our list, then you'll see our error message pop up. So when we were doing the impedance, we actually did not enter a if not found message, as you saw there. So it just throws out this error that shows not applicable. In the next option we did include a message if there is no value that is found. So that's a clean way to illustrate your data, if that may be, and that's how Xlookup works. So I hope you found this very useful. So our next formula that we are going to discuss is Vlookup. So this is probably the most popular Excel formula on YouTube at the moment. If you Google lookup formulas in Excel, Vlookup will probably pop up there, and there's a bunch of videos that you can go watch about Vlookup. So I'm just going to quickly explain my side of the story and how it works. And we're going to use the same search parameter that we did in when using the Xlookup function. So we're going to use the cable size again just to show how this works. So let's, for instance, go with current rating that we want to calculate, or that we want to look up from our table. So it's easy, just type in Vlookup with a bracket, and then it will ask you what is your lookup value. So I'm sticking with the same format over here, and from there it's going to ask our table array. So from here you are going to select your whole table. You can select everything that's in there, and then the next option is our column index number. So when working with Vlookup, you actually need to pay attention to your column indexes. So just to give you a quick idea, this would be column 1, and from here we'll go all the way to column 5, just to give you an idea there. Just highlight there. So when working with Vlookup, it will ask us for our index, our column index. So if we, for instance, are looking for our current rating of our cable size, it would be index number 2. So as soon as I pick index number 2, I can then close the bracket, and if I press enter, you'll see it looks up the value that is connected to the cable size. So you can do this with, and from here you'll actually be able to enter anything, and it will pop up your lookup value that you've asked for. So this is an easy way to use Vlookup, and you just need to keep your head on straight when working with your column indexes. Our next formula is Hlookup, and this is a great formula to use just like all of the others, but you need to understand exactly how it works, the purpose of it. So for Hlookup, I'm going to stick with, let's just call it a parameter, and let's just put our row number. So you'll see why I did this in a moment. So I'm using the same table that I used with the previous lookup options, but Hlookup works a little bit differently. So for instance, let's just call this cell our lookup value, and from here we'll then type in the equal sign and Hlookup, the bracket, and it asks for our lookup value. So our lookup value will be our parameter that is set. So I'm going to click on that, and the next one is going to be our table array. So this formula might work better on different tables. There is a lot of options that you can use this for, but this will explain the basis of it, and it will make a bit more sense once we've got this done. So I've selected our whole table from here. Now the next option is our row index number. So as you can see, there's a lot of information in different columns in our table. So the Hlookup function might work great when there are only 2 columns, but it will work either way, as I will show you now. So for our row index number, we can select, so luckily here's all our rows. So for our index number, once you select 3, let's say like this, and if I close this, you'll see it will throw an option. So let's just quickly do impedance, and our row number will be, let's say, 5. So here you can see our row index has been selected on number 3. So from here, we need to go into our formula to change this option. So that's why I put in the row number. So I'm just going to replace this that we manually entered with our row number that we've selected up there. So if I do this, I can now change this and it will automatically look up the value within our row indexes. Like you can see our impedance there in our index number 6 matches that value. And this you can change to, you can do the cable size, it doesn't matter what do you want to do, but as soon as you change these values, it looks up the value. So there you have it. There are the lookup options that have been discussed. So Hlookup works on a row index, but you can still use that if you use this method that we have done for this. But it works brilliantly for 2-column tables. It works actually brilliantly however you would like to use it. But keep on practicing and perfecting this and all of these methods, because as I said, Hlookup works with a row index, Vlookup works with a column index, and Xlookup you select your return array. So all of these options work brilliantly. You can choose either one of them, whichever you are most comfortable with. And I hope this video has been helpful, because I know there's been a lot of videos posted about Vlookup specifically, and as I said, there are a bunch of options. And please comment down below which of these lookup options are your favorites and which you like to use on a regular basis. But as I said, you can use any one of them if you can perfect how it works in your table, and you might even use all of them in one spreadsheet depending on your lookup options that you need. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking it out until the very end. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We have got a bunch of new content that's going to come out this year that we're very excited about. So stay tuned for that, and enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time. Cheers.